Hey guys, I was reading, well, hey, I was reading some of the past comments on my other videos, and the reason for this one is kind of important. And I know a lot of you I know a lot of fair skin or mixed natives can relate to this at some point in life. If I'm wrong, then sorry for the assumption, but, when the natives who do look native, and then the natives who don't look native, according to what pop culture and what the media says looks native. Um, Today, I read one that the one guy who's I wouldn't necessarily he said some comments that I perceived to be racist, and he called me a $5 Indian, which if you know what that means, it's not a nice term, and I've been called a pretendian. I've been called, and then in the comment it said little white boy, and then he used a word that I had to Google, and it meant that I have female characteristics, like female personality characteristics. And I says, "Oh, real native men are warriors. You're like a girly guy, and you're not a real native. Like you're a white boy who is a $5 pretendian." And I'm putting my foot down because I've read a lot of these comments over a past while, and I'm getting a little fed up with them. I'm not taking my YouTube down, but I am taking a stand and saying, you know what? The next time I see somebody comment harsh words toward me or my identity again, and I will report you as hate message, because I have friends who are just like me, who are native, who are either status or Métis, or non-status or non-status Métis, and they get bullied all the time because their skin is not dark and their eyes are not brown and their hair is not black, and they don't sound native. And I'm getting really, really tired of this. I came onto YouTube 2 years ago, and then I just recently started filming this native side of my life, and I open up to people in a way where I wouldn't say I give them confidence, but I hope I make it easier for a lot of natives who look like me, who look pale, who don't look native, I guess, to the broader population, and to give them hope that you can still be a dancer, a drummer, a singer, a powwow person, or a ceremony person, because that's what a lot of it's about, is having identity. It's about identity, right? And so, um I'm going to go through all my videos related to natives, and I'm going to delete the ones who are, and I see, they may not seem like heavy to some people, but to me, I'm getting really sick and tired of living in a time, in a country, or being in between races. Like, for those who are either, who look their race, or those who have no problem identifying as who they are, it's a little harder to explain. Like my partner, like Jared, he is native. You've seen him in my past videos. He has dark skin. He's got black eyes and dark brown eyes and jet black hair, and he looks native. And he knows that I'm native, and he doesn't care what race I am, because he doesn't discriminate against race in that sense. But I've told him about these issues, and he has a hard time understanding from my point of view. From his point of view, it's because he looks native. You visibly see he looks native to the point where it's impossible to deny that he's native. And his issues is racism toward because of who he is. Because he's openly able to identify as native, but unfortunately, he faces his own issues. I face my own issues, and Jared has I'm constantly that you're Indian, you're not native. People tell me what I am and what I'm not. And this is starting to piss me off a little bit because I'm a sensitive person. I feel a little sometimes too emotional toward these things, but when you're attacked constantly on your identity as a mixed race person, whether you're native, white, black, white, Asian, like whatever you're mixed with, if you don't look the stereotype of what your identity is supposed to be like perceived as in in pop culture or media or whatever, you're gonna get targeted. I'm sure people on my page get targeted one time and time again, or at some point in their life for not looking the way they're supposed to look. And if this touches base with people, but if you and honestly, these are my feelings. So if you feel offended by my words, I'm both sorry but not sorry because you feel that same compassion towards someone who also deals with it instead of saying, "Oh, my problems are worse than yours," or my racial identity is more mixed than yours. It doesn't matter. We're supposed to be equal here. We live on the same planet. We have the same color blood. I damn well hope so. We do. If not, we gotta talk. And it's just like I'm so honestly sick and tired of being called a little white boy or Wasichu or a $5 Indian or Patindian or fake Indian. And it's just like, for God's sake, like, I'm not going to swear because I'm trying to refrain from poisoning my channel with foul words. I'm sure I've sworn in the past. If I have, forgive me. But, I'm so fed up with this, and I was trying to keep my composure. I read this before I took a shower, and I was trying to keep my composure actually in the shower. I was getting kind of, I wasn't fluttered by it, but I was just like, really? This stuff again? And, but I will tell to all you people out there who decide to judge me based on my skin color, the next comment I will see about me being anything but native, I'm gonna block you and delete your comment because I lived that in my life already. I do not need people behind a darn computer screen telling me what I am and what I'm not. And unfortunately, I hate to say this. I really hate to say this because I probably get some hate for this. But at the end of the day, it's the way I feel, and I was raised to speak my mind. A lot of hate comes from natives who are either more than half or full-blooded. Like natives who look dark, like Jared. A lot of them have spewed hate toward me. And I remember being dancing in this at a powwow, at several powwows, and people kept calling me a wannabe little white boy who wants to be a $5 Indian, who wants to be Indian but can't be until they find out I am native. I have, and it's not distant really related to natives. My mother was a First Nations woman. My father is a Métis man. My mother had dark, dark, dark brown skin, like dark tan skin. She had black eyes and jet black hair and was status. And my father obviously looks like me, but I inherited a bit of both my mom and my dad's hair color. And it's just like like I don't like ranting about these things, but sometimes you gotta vent even if you can't see someone. It's still to vent, right? You're probably thinking I'm overreacting, but for those of you who deal with this on a day-to-day basis, I have friends on YouTube who have dealt with this too. I have one in particular who I'm not gonna say a name without her permission, but she knows exactly how it feels, and she's a Anishinaabe, and like just I'm not doing this to prove anything. I'm doing this because I'm proud. Not of the cards. Definitely, will it? Nope. Anyway, so that it says right there, Elsipogchuk First Nation, and that is a certificate of Indian status. This is a authentic Indian Affairs full Indian status card. And I'm not saying I'm throwing it in people's faces to prove that I'm Indian. I'm presenting it to in case of any future people who view my channel and think I'm a pretendian. You'll come across the video and you'll see that, and you'll be like, but I've met people also who say, oh, they give status cards to anybody these days. That may be in your views, but you do not know how much I had to bend backwards, and like bend back and forth, like through Indian Affairs to get that card. I had to give them my number. I had to register with my band. It's not easy getting a status card, and frankly, the only reason I have it is because it helps with certain things that I cannot afford. And when people say, oh, like even in a past comment, there was a guy who said, oh, you don't look native, brother, sorry, you, us natives of Turtle Island are this, and that, and I'm thinking to myself, do full-blooded natives hate half-breeds? Like, I'm actually starting to think this these days. Do full natives actually hate half-breeds like me? It's not our fault that we're freaking half-breeds, you know? Like, natives intermingle with non-natives. That's the way it is now. So why show so much hate toward your own people? And people wonder why half-breeds like me are sometimes scared to step foot in the circle. This is why. We face prejudice daily. It's not easy being mixed race. It's damn near impossible nowadays. And it's not fair. And I know it's like, oh, this world isn't fair. I'm well aware this world is not fair. You do not have to tell me that twice. But, you know, honestly, it's BS because if this... Thank you, someone... I wouldn't say disconnect my channel, but pause it. Not post any more videos for a while. But if... I might need some time to really collect my identity more, because I'm proud to be who I am, but sometimes people on both sides can make it so difficult to feel proud. I'm telling you, it's not right. It's just everyone has a human right to feel proud of where they come from, no matter where you're from. And to bully people from your own ethnicity because they're half your identity, it goes both ways. It really goes both ways. So I'm gonna go before I start getting all emotional. I'm not actually getting, like, emotional. Like, I'm really, really tired. So my eyes get really baggy and glossy when I'm tired. But yeah, like, this eye's going fuzzy because I can barely see. But anyway, so thank you for those who watched. And if you have any input, like something encouraging, but please, if any, like I said, any negative comments, you'll be blocked and deleted because I've had enough. That's the honest truth. But any comments that are helpful, positive, compassionate, supportive, those are welcomed more than you can even imagine. So please, if you like this, if you like any of my videos, subscribe, comment, like, share, whatever the heck you want to do. Because I'll try and make as many as I can, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway...